Hey everyone, happy Friday. It is the Friday before Thanksgiving and it is also my 5-year anniversary with my hubby. And last week we took an anniversary trip to New Orleans, which was so much fun. If you've never been there, I highly recommend it. There's so much to do. I mean, half of the time you're just trying all different kinds of restaurants and different types of food, which you can't go wrong. But I just wanted to do a little fun vlog today for y'all and just kind of tell you about our trip and kind of what's been going on with me. So New Orleans, we went a Tuesday through Friday, and like the first night we got in kind of late. We got in around like 7:45, and I had tickets to go to this comedy show, and it should have been my clue that since the tickets were free, that this may have been kind of, you know, an amateur night. But I printed off these tickets and was like, hey, you know, we like comedy shows, so we'll go check it out. And sure enough, it's in kind of a shady part of town. And it's like this little hole-in-the-wall place. And there's like a heavy metal band that's playing in the room like right next to us, and so like the hosts and stuff kept talking about, you know, we're gonna try our best to like talk over them, but we'll see how that goes. So that was kind of interesting, but some of the comedians that they had were pretty good, and there were some others that weren't, but you know, it was just kind of fun to, you know, do something different. But let's see, after that we just went to the hotel, and then the next day we went to the Ruby Slipper Cafe for brunch, which, oh my gosh, please go there. They have like the best French toast I've ever had in my life. And then we went to the aquarium, which was so cool. We got to watch them feed the penguins, which, like, if you walk in, there's obviously the glass, and then I guess they were African penguins, so there wasn't any snow. It was just all regular, like, African landscape. And then the water, and the penguins saw all of these people coming up and thinking that they were going to get fed by us. And so they, like, kind of swarm at the glass and start swimming around. And this one penguin was kind of following my husband and I, and we noticed that he only had one eye. It was so crazy. I think his name was Scrappy or something like that. But like he just kept staying like where we were, and you know, we kept taking pictures of him. But my husband looked down, he was like, he only has one eye. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Because he kept turning and like only looking at us with that one eye. So but that was really cool to watch them feed the penguins. And they've got a really, really nice aquarium. There's all different types of levels and different types of things to see. And after that, we did Jackson Square, which was really nice. The only time I had ever been to New Orleans before this, I went after Hurricane Katrina with a volunteer group, and I pretty much spent most of my time in the 9th Ward, and like the only really touristy thing that we did was Cafe du Monde, and I think we went to like Bubba Gump Shrimp Company or something for dinner. So it's not like, you know, we got to go out and really see stuff in New Orleans. And one of the main things that I wanted to see when my husband and I went was Jackson Square, and we got to go into the cathedral, and they were doing midday mass, which was really cool. And after that, we we went to Mother's, which is this, they have po' boys, and they have different types of po' boys. My husband was like dying to go there, so we finally got our po' boys. And then after that, we just hung out at the hotel. The CMAs were that night, so I wanted to stay in and cheer on my favorite artists. And then the next day, we went to the World War II Museum, which was so cool. I mean, there's so much stuff to see. You could easily spend 2 days in that place and probably still not see everything. There are at least 5 different buildings, and we got through 3 of them, but that was kind of skimming through a lot of the areas because we were kind of on a time crunch. But I mean, there's just so much to see and so much to learn. And what's really cool is they give you a card, but it's like a dog tag, and you basically follow along a story of a soldier, a real soldier from that time. So it was really cool to kind of have that interaction. And you kind of go to these different stations and you learn kind of what happens to that soldier. And so that was really, really neat. I'm glad that they did something like that. So after that, we trying to think, we went on our Dinner River cruise on the Mississippi, which was probably the highlight of our trip. That was really, really cool. It's on one of the old paddle wheeler steamboats, and it's just a 2-hour cruise on the Mississippi, and you can do a dinner option, which we did. We did the dinner, and they have a live band on the inside, just, you know, playing all kinds of music, especially jazz. And that was really, really cool. That was such a good experience, and I highly recommend it to anybody that, you know, is looking to do something like that. It's a lot of fun and definitely worth the money. But after that, we went to Bourbon Street, which I'm getting closer to 30, so I guess just that kind of scene, I'm not I can barely stay up past midnight, but it was definitely a rowdy crowd. But we went to Lafitte's, and that was pretty cool. I didn't realize it was a piano bar, but we sat outside and enjoyed the music and, you know, sang along with everybody that was there. And we also went to the Cat's Meow karaoke place, which, interesting place. That's all I'm gonna say. It was fun. I love karaoke, but I guess since I am a singer, I take it a little bit more seriously than others, and that was definitely not a place to be serious, so, but I'll just say that. But it was still really fun to watch people. But after that, we just went back to the hotel, and the next day, we had a later flight, and so I guess it was like 7:30 in the evening, so we still had another day to go out and do stuff. So we went to Cafe Du Monde for breakfast, and we did a city bus tour, which was really cool. They took us to the Garden District with like these $1-million homes, I should say multi-million-dollar homes. And then we did like a walking tour of one of the above ground cemeteries, which was pretty neat. I didn't realize how, I guess to put this lightly, how many people they pack in those things. But it's a really interesting process of what they go through. And some of the cemeteries are just absolutely gorgeous, just the stonework and all that. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't imagine how much money those things actually are. But after that, they took us to the city park and the sculpture garden, which was beautiful. And it was a really nice day. It was actually the only day when we were there that was sunny. The entire time we were there, it was cloudy, a little bit of drizzle, but not much, and kind of cold. And then Friday was the only day that it was sunny, and I guess closer to 70. But yeah, so, you know, to be outside in the park, and it was just gorgeous. And then after that, they took us to the 9th Ward, which was so interesting because I was there 12 years ago, and so to see that some of the houses have not been touched since then was kind of surreal. And then obviously you can tell some of the houses that have definitely been updated, and they've done a lot of work. And you know, I'm very thankful that there are so many different organizations and people that obviously reached out and just tried to rebuild that city. So it was really cool to see the updates and the improvements, and you know that obviously New Orleans is still alive and thriving after all that. So but that was pretty cool. And then we went to the Jazz Museum, which was kind of disappointing, I'm not gonna lie, because you would think New Orleans, jazz music, of course. But it was a part of the old Mint. But they just had like these 2 little small rooms upstairs. Like one room was for some of the female singers from back then, and then like the other room was some of the male singers. Or, you know, there was a clarinetist, I think it's Peter Fontaine. I think some people pronounce it Fountain, but I think it's I guess that's French, I'm not really sure, but Fontaine. But he was a clarinetist, and so they had like a wax figurine of him and his clarinet, which was really cool. But it was just kind of disappointing because they just had those two little small rooms. And I'm thinking, you know, the Jazz Museum should be something like, maybe not to the scale of the World War II Museum, but, you know, at least one of those buildings. So, I don't know, but at least we went and saw it and got a couple of cool pictures. But after that, we just, you know, went back to the hotel and got ready and headed to the airport. But I mean, that vacation was much needed for both of us. My husband works way too hard. I'm very proud of him and his work, but it had been a while since he had taken a vacation, so I'm glad we were able to do that. And I'm sure some of y'all can relate, but I felt like we both needed a vacation after our vacation because we were just so worn out. We ate so much food, and according to my pedometer on my phone, I think we walked over like 17 miles or something within 3 days. So we were pretty tired, but it was still so much worth it, or so very worth it. But yeah, if you've never been there, I highly recommend going. And I mean, we'll definitely go back again. It's definitely in like the top 3 of our trips that we've taken. So, because there's still so many things that we didn't get to do that we definitely need to check off of our list. But yeah, so I just wanted to, you know, do a little fun vlog for y'all. And I am choreographing new dances. I will probably have one done later today. Hopefully send that out in the next couple days. So, but yeah, please comment, like, subscribe to the channel and the videos. And if you have any requests for any songs, please feel free to message me or, you know, comment below on the videos. I would love to hear from y'all. So, but I will see y'all later. Bye.